Warning. The following show is likely to switch topics faster than a Kardashian switches NBA players in bed. Caution is advised. We surveyed 100 people. Actually, no, just some dudes off the street about JB. And here are the top answers. Number 1, JB. I love JB. Did I say that right? Do I still get my Chick-fil-A gift card? Number 2, who? Number 3, I know JB. He don't know shit. And now he's got a podcast? This is What the Hell Do I Know with JB. JB, your friendly late-stage midlife husband, dad, and self-diagnosed ADHD connoisseur. This is all about candid conversation with friends, colleagues, and professionals, unpacking life's lessons and having a damn fun time doing it. And hey, sometimes we're going to veer off topic. But isn't that what makes life interesting? Let's talk about taking the good parts and leaving the bad. Because life's too short for unnecessary baggage. This is What the Hell Do I Know with JB. And now your host, Jason Becker.
All right. That intro, it gets me jazzed. Juice is always like, do the short one. I'm like, but the big one gets me jazzed. Yeah, I'm like, dude, ready to go, man. I'm
do your jazz hands. Let me see them.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands. I love it. Yes, and again, thank you all of our subscribers and listeners out there. Everyone that's listening. If you're driving, you're listening in the shower. Maybe you have that sort of resource. I don't know, but we appreciate it, and we so much are grateful to. I think at this point in time, we're probably over 2,000 subscribers by the time the show airs, and wow. I'm so excited about it. We have thousands of hours watched. I really thought 3 people were going to. I always say I thought 3 people were going to listen to this, and I'm always surprised when somebody's. We were playing poker last night, and Drew came up to me and said, "Yeah, I finally watched your first episode."
Oh,
so
that
it's
makes
like
me feel bad.
So cool. I was like, awesome. I was like, okay.
All right, I'm watching this week.
You're watching next week, man. But seriously, thank you, everybody that's watching. I know some of you are going to hear some of the stuff we say, and you're going to think, oh, I know somebody needs to hear this. The problem with saying that is you probably are projecting. So listen up, tune in, and see if you can't do something to help improve your life and the lives of those around you. So, but now, drink of the moment, or drink of the day, as I like to say, we have beer. We've got some special guests here. I'm going to introduce you guys in a second, but we have our beer of choice because we're going to be talking. You probably see the table setting today as some rods and some beach hats and things of that nature. So we've got some of the Destin's finest, Emerald Coast's finest fishermen that are ever to be known, celebrity boat captains to the stars, these guys. So I'm just excited to have both Stan and Brad here. I'm going to introduce you guys. But one thing about beer I like is that Benjamin Franklin said God made beer because he loves us and wants us to be happy. At least that's what the interwebs said.
I'm drinking my favorite.
God made beer because he loves us and wants us to be happy.
Cold and free.
That's right, cold and free. Well, it's also local. You're at East Pass, local. Perfect. Here. And then I have a 30A IPA from the Grayton Beer Company. You guys are drinking the national suppliers chain.
Athletic Brewing Company.
You've got an NA, non-alcoholic. Those of you that don't drink or don't partake, again, you can choose non-alcoholic substitutes, and Stan is providing a great example there of that. Juice, you're basically drinking a non-alcoholic beer.
NGD 64. Extra light. I got a physique to get ready for spring break, you know what I'm saying?
Spring break for 40-year-olds. That lasts, that's like a 2 months spring break,
for
right?
the 40-year-old spring break.
Yeah, shout out to Lawson. He is the 40-year-old spring. Yes. Shout out to Lawson.
Yeah, you officially have a dad bod now.
I do.
With a 2-month-old?
I gained 10 pounds, yeah.
Dang.
10 pounds.
She's 5
sympathy.
months.
Dad bod. Dad bod beer.
Dad bod beer, baby.
Dad bod beer.
By the way, as always, drink only if you're over 21 and drink responsibly. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, salute. Yeah, absolutely. All right. By the way, our episode today is sponsored by Stan's mom's Lumpia. Lumpia. I said that's wrong.
Lumpia.
Man, on air.
Lumpia.
Lumpia.
I'm saying, I feel like lumpia. I need to think about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, lumpia, but
No, Oompa
Lumpia. Lumpia. It'll help me. I have to do word association sometimes.
Okay.
So, lumpia. Oompa Lumpia.
Lumpia.
Oompa Lumpia. So lumpia, tell us about lumpia, Stan. And your mom makes this lumpia. You can inquire. I'm going to put Stan's contact information up here. You can DM him, and as many orders as you want lumpia, his mom will make and ship them out.
Yes,
there will be a charge for all this, so it's none free.
There will be, because I'm probably going to deliver them with dry ice. And that dry ice ain't free.
Yeah, that's right.
Lumpia, not to be confused with egg roll. Chinese people make egg rolls. You can find those at Chinese
You like to say
restaurants
Asian
and stuff
people.
like that. Asian, sorry.
No worries. I'm going to give
Proper
first.
nomenclature.
Warning. Now for a word of caution.
Yeah.
Warning. Unpopular opinion. You jerk.
Hey, keep your finger close to that. What about it?
Right, good enough. Yeah. Anyways, meanwhile,
Lumpia.
The lumpia is not to be confused with egg rolls. They got. I think the difference is number one, my mom makes them. She's Filipino, and number two, this one's got shred. This one's got ground pork in it.
That is the best statement. It makes them different because your mom makes it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Then-
she's Filipino.
Yeah, there you go.
Filipinos call it lumpia.
Lumpia. But it has a little bit of a difference in the filling that's inside of the roll. I don't want to say egg roll, but they're using a different wrap, right?
It's like a rice paper.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
maybe it is technically an egg roll because they use egg wash to like roll it up and stick
And
it.
we've got some dipping sauces here. I don't know what they are, but what do you normally like to dip these in? Is that what that is?
That is sweet chili sauce.
Yeah, sweet chili sauce is
made
good,
by
too.
a company called My Ploy.
Okay.
And this one is a garlic chili paste made by Sambal Olek.
Okay. All right.
What'd you call it?
I feel like you just had another unpopular opinion there in their name there, but
all right.
But
Hit me with the button. throw the flag.
no flag. I can't wait to dive. By the way, I can't wait to dive into these. So Stan's mom's Lumpia sponsored this show. Super excited about it.
Big time.
So big time sponsor for us. We're so excited about it, but I can't wait to do that. All right, so listen, it is now time for new news. Anybody got any new news they want to share with the group?
No, P.
Anything
Diddy,
new?
please. No, we can't.
Well, did y'all see the slow-mo video of that ship that hit the bridge?
Yes, in
No,
Baltimore.
where was this at?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Last night, dude, knocked the whole bridge down.
What ship? I mean, was it a
bridge
recreational?
collapsed.
900-foot cargo ship.
It was at a Singapore,
Cargo.
Yeah.
Singapore-based cargo ship. Supposedly got hacked and it lost power. Is that what happened?
Lost
or-
power twice, and you see when they got power back after the first time, it was black smoking like he was trying to go reverse.
So did this ship took the whole bridge out, or did it
The
just
entire
So it
bridge.
just dropped it.
The
Were people
entire
on
bridge
it?
going across the 9th largest port.
Where in the
United
heck
States.
was I? I think I was preparing for this podcast. I just missed the whole news.
Yeah, so they blocked traffic. They realized what was going down, but there were still cars on the bridge. But it was late at night too, right?
It's like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so that thank God, you
Yeah.
know, it wasn't rush hour or anything, but it's a crazy video.
But it's going to be chaos.
And Diddy's on the run.
And Diddy's on the run.
Diddy's on the run.
No,
They
he's
raided
been
his
caught.
houses.
Somebody said.
I don't know. I tried to search it. I'm not sure
No.
Diddy's been caught, but I do
Okay.
think his houses were raided. So, and by the way, I mean serious charges. I hope none of it's true. You know, we don't take that sort of thing bad. What are we trying to watch here? You trying to pull up the bridge?
Yeah, I was going to pull it up. I had
Well, if you find something that's worth watching, but we'll take a look at this video. We can probably share this to folks. Oh my gosh, the bridge,
there's the barge right
the
there. on
bridge
left side.
completely collapses.
Yeah.
Cars are on
Like a
the
rector
bridge
store.
or
There
no?
were a couple cars.
There were some, but they blocked traffic when they realized it wasn't stopping.
Well, we will try to post this video up. I mean, it's on YouTube. We should be able to.
Yes, he's
on
on
the
Where's
left
the barge?
side.
On the
Baltimore.
left, right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I wouldn't call that a barge. That's a ship.
That's a ship.
Yeah, that's not the best video I've seen, but
Do you think it could be terrorist attack? I mean, if it was hacked,
that's what
That was
I don't know. They're saying
They don't know.
They don't know. It happened to it's too new. So
it's probably
It's too new news.
Hunter Biden. that did
I
it.
can't wait for the conspiracy
Yeah.
theories.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion.
Warning. Now for a
It was
word of
Diddy.
caution. Warning. Unpopular opinion.
Well, let's not search for Diddy. We don't need that one.
You jerk.
By the way, new news for me. I'm headed to Tampa this weekend for Easter weekend. Going to see my son, our son, I should say our son. I claim him on the good days.
Mm-hmm.
She claims him on the bad days. But we are going to go see him. We haven't seen him in a while. It's funny. We were talking to, I think my wife Danielle was talking to Jackson and mentioned that his girlfriend's parents, they seem to go down to Tampa. She says they come down a decent bit. And she was like, yeah. And she was like, we don't come down as much. She's like, well, y'all could come down more. So we're headed to Tampa. We should go more. He comes back. This season's been kind of busy for us, but he comes back, and so a good bit. Well, not a good bit on his breaks, but we're going to go see him, and we're going to take in a hockey game. I mean, the Tampa Bay Predators.
Lightning.
No, Nashville Predators, Lightning.
Playing
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa's good.
They are. They won like the Stanley Cup not that long ago, right?
I don't follow hockey. I don't know.
They were in it last year, but I don't think they won
The
it.
city supports it. Downtown Tampa supports it. They really get into it.
Florida team wins hockey.
Isn't it great? You know what's interesting? So when our family always done travel, one of the things we did early on with our kids, we just felt they were getting so much junk for Christmas. We decided, what is the one gift you want for Christmas? And then the other gift is a trip. So we always take a trip. And so everywhere we've gone, especially if it's been in the States, we go see something. Like Washington, D.C., we took in the Bullets, and I think we took a hockey game up there. We were in Boston, and we saw the Celtics were out, so we couldn't see them, but we saw the Boston Bruins. So the kids usually get a hat. So they have these hats from the Heat and the Washington teams and Bruins and all these different things. But we were at a Bruins hockey game, and we were just below the glass, which is very important to be at a hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like our tickets are just above the glass on this Tampa Bay team. So you have to be aware, because as we were sitting there, and then Boston, on the home side, we were just below the glass. A puck goes flying right above the glass, and it hits this lady straight in the face. I mean, immediately. She's only like 20 yards from us, blows her face to smithereens. I mean, blood just is going everywhere.
And this is common at a hockey game.
Evidently, you need to be on the lookout. You cannot be playing with your phone. No, on the sides. This was on the sides. So I think it's not super common for this to happen. However, we were kind of like what you would consider the 50-yard line. I don't know what the terminology is in hockey, but we were, let's say, the 50-yard line. She was 20 yards to our right, straight above the glass, right to her nose. I mean, just blood everywhere. Immediately, of course, people in the arena, security and whatnot, they come down. They've got stuff all over her nose, and they start to take her, to go get medical help. And her husband is walking backwards up the steps as slow as he can. He's like, we're right in the middle of second period.
My goodness.
He is walking the slowest backwards walk up the steps. The only help that would save him is if she just doesn't remember it. That's what happened.
Oh, my God.
Because I wish I had a video of his walk. He was not one to leave that game, even for her broken nose. So, absolutely insane.
Must happen a lot, dude.
Especially when you're there. I love any sporting event when you're there. I think it's always fun when when you can see the action, you feel the adrenaline, the passion of the players, things of that nature. I always like to watch it, especially in postseason. Almost anything postseason I like to watch. Do you guys find yourself that way?
That energy.
Yeah.
So it looks like Tampa's won it 3 times, 2004, 2020.
Nice juice with
kind of
that.
And
it's been recent, right? 2020. You said 2020.
3 times,
so yeah. They got a great team, so we're going to go down and support the Florida team there, Florida Lightning. Any other new news while we're on our new news section?
I'm not a news guy.
All right.
So
hey, listen, anything going on in your life you want to share? Anything new? Now's the time to
2021.
I'm bringing my program back to Destin, so I'll be here.
Oh, that's
summer.
so great. That's so great.
Thanks.
By the way, this is a perfect time for me to actually formally introduce you guys, but we do have Brad Benton here. I'm so excited about you being here. Brad is absolutely a celebrity boat captain. You were Emerald Lagasse's boat captain for
16 years.
16 years. And the man...
When he had abs. Emerald Lagasse used to have abs, dude.
Yeah.
You...
Ab.
When I first...
Ab. Hey, watch it now. Don't talk about my shit.
Yeah, hit
the button.
Warning. Now for a word of caution. Warning. Unpopular opinion.
Damn,
Dude, that's a good boat name. Unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion. That would be a good boat name. And then you owe it all, these 16 years, you owe it all to Stan Blackman.
Yes.
And with us as well. You also were with Emerald. You were the boat captain first.
Oh, yes. And then
That took you a long time to answer. I feel like there must have been some secret.
We were working
like you
with John.
There was
John Hawley.
a guy before us.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like second, and then I jumped ship not long after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And Brad
It was a short term.
took over there
You didn't like
for
his
you.
cooking?
No.
I,
It wasn't
an
Lumpia. It
opportunity
wasn't
opened up
Lumpia.
for like a travel job, like getting to travel a little bit more.
Gotcha.
and
Yeah.
Go to cool spots and
So you opted for a job to
Yeah.
travel a little bit
Yeah.
more,
I
right?
get that.
Right. Now, did you both grow up here in this area?
I did. I met Brad in like what 02?
Yeah, we were looking. I think we lived together in 04, so probably 03, maybe.
Which county jail did y'all meet at?
So, no.
Harbor Marina. Jail of Harbor Marina.
That is so good.
I actually grew up in Georgia.
Right. I do know that. Go Dogs.
Yes, go Dogs. And graduated college and hated the adult life.
Okay.
And so then I moved down here.
And then you didn't have to do the adulting really anymore.
I was far from an adult at that point in my life. Yes, very far from an adult.
Yeah, when I met Brad, you were working at Harbor Walk, like he was like the fuel boy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Got to
fuel
start
boy.
somewhere.
yeah, and, well,
that like
my
the pool
second
boy?
mate, and I was first mate on a charter boat, and I didn't have a second mate. I was like, "Hey man, you want to come fishing, make some extra money?" And he was like,
Nice.
"Yeah, sure, dude." And he never missed a boat.
Funny story. Funny story is,
Well, I love funny stories.
well, this may not be funny, but so I'm actually working on a charter boat next to the fuel slip as well, a party boat. And one of the things his captain, our sea daddy, John Hawley,
Sea Daddy.
said to me was, he's like, "Hey man, I notice you've been here for 2 weeks and you show up on time and you haven't missed a day." He's like, we really need that. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, hold on, dude. 2 weeks? Like,
Yeah.
I haven't missed a day in
Right.
2 weeks, and that is very impressive to you. Okay, so I have found, like, this industry that I'm going to move up quickly in because
Just showing up.
I show up.
Just show up.
Just show up.
You know what, though? I think that works in a lot of industries.
These days,
If
I
you
agree.
can just
These
show-
days.
Well, and if you show up and you put in the effort, believe it or not, when you show up again, you're going to do it slightly better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you show up again, it's slightly better the next time. You just keep moving that
Got
mark
that many
a little bit
days
more.
experience.
100%. We talk about that a lot. But now, Stan, you are on really a full-time fishing boat vessel.
Currently?
Currently.
Yes.
And what size boat are you captaining right now?
So I'm running a 74 Viking,
That's big, boys and girls. Very big.
enclosed bridge, sport fishing model. So it's got the long poles that everybody call
Right.
it, the tourists call it, but those are outriggers.
Yep. Okay.
A lot different style. It's more my speed. That's a offshore fishing boat.
So you're running
spread
like
out.
bait stuff. You're running more casts
Right.
out on
Well,
your outriggers, right?
Right. We're trolling with those,
Trolling
the
with that.
outriggers.
Okay.
Yep.
Which you targeting blue marlin and tuna, right?
Blue marlin, tuna, dolphin, wahoo.
Yeah.
And for people listening, if they've never been on a large, commercial, I mean, this is really for private owner
we're
now.
private,
So you're private, but a large fishing boat like this Viking 74 with outriggers. When you say the words trolling, you're going at a slow speed. You've got lines behind you, and you're trying to catch, like you
sitting
said,
there.
dolphin.
Right. Whatever. We'll go to an area, kind of scout it out, and it might have some significant features or whatever on the
Okay.
bottom that we like, and then you just put a spread out, and you tune in your spread, and
Did
you
everything
sit
you
there
need to have
and,
it-
and
yep.
wait. It's kind of like a hunt, but different.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay.
my job is to just find the areas, and then I have two mates down there that put the spread out, set everybody up, and their
Shout out
job
to our
is
boy Dylan.
Yeah,
He's one of
Dylan.
your mates. My
Dylan
poker
Doubleday.
nemesis.
Yeah. His dad was a famous boat captain in Destiny.
Really?
Yeah.
Boat
Everybody-
deckhand, but
He's
yes,
amazing.
famous.
Or deckhand.
Yeah.
Dylan's dad.
Boat guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not
Dylan's
know
dad,
that.
Yeah, his last name's Doubleday. He's also a descendant of Abner Doubleday. He gets
You'd have to
credit,
fill me in on that one.
He gets credit for inventing
Inventing
the game
baseball, yeah.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
We're talking about Dylan here.
Dylan Doubleday.
Double
He's-
play?
Dylan Doubleday.
Dylan,
No, shout out Dylan. I love Dylan.
yeah, descended way down the bloodline.
Wow. Yeah, way down the blood.
Yeah,
So Dylan must be really good at baseball.
he sucks.
Oh, man.
So good, Dylan. Oh, my boy. Now, Brad, you had, we mentioned earlier, you captained Emerald's boat, which was a fishing
Operation.
or is a whole fishing operation, similar to what Stan just described, where you're
Roger.
trolling, you're dropping, you're doing all these same things. Are you still, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're on more of a motor yacht, or are you back on a fishing boat? I know you've, since Emerald moved, which he didn't fire you, let's just make that clear. I mean,
No.
he retired that program and doing other things
Which
in
happens
life.
often in our industry,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah.
And 16 years, he loved you. In fact, I think he wanted you to just hang out with him or something.
To his credit,
Yeah.
when it kind of dissolved, he actually paid me a retainer.
Right.
And I actually had to call him to say, hey, man, you have to quit paying me.
I'm not doing it. You're not buying it.
I can find another job.
Right. Right.
And he's so loyal and really, really wanted to take care of me. But also, I think he did have the idea that he's going to do it again. And, he just hasn't yet. So,
Yeah. By the way, that's a good point to make is I think if you're in somebody's employment, being a good steward of that employment is going to go a long way for you, because that means a lot to him, but it also means a lot to whoever is coming behind him for the recommendations and whatnot. When you're a person of integrity and you want to do the right things, that's so important with what you're doing. By the way, we should
Brilliant.
make a note of that.
Let's all write that down, shall we, class?
brilliant.
Brilliant. So, but the boat you're on now is a fishing boat or no?
So, actually,
Several boats.
yes.
You're in a
several
program
boats.
that's several boats, so
We
you
have
might
a
go
fleet.
motor
You have
yacht.
a fleet.
A
Yeah.
fleet.
Are you the fleet commander?
I wouldn't call myself a fleet commander at
I
this
feel like
point.
you should.
Look at that.
I feel like you should.
Fleet commander.
I am responsible for a lot of different moving parts at this point. And there is a fishing boat in the fleet. However, nobody in the family likes to fish, so we fish 2 days a year.
Okay.
We take his customers fishing during
Okay.
his customer event.
Okay.
And the rest of the time, we're just entertaining the family, man.
Life of the stars, man. The rich and famous. That's
It
great,
is.
man. What a wonderful thing to have several different boats in a fleet. So that's
fleet.
great. That's really good.
I got a
But
mini
you're doing
fleet.
more of you're doing more of the motor yacht stuff where you're captain a boat that may have several different levels to it. I mean, people should probably think like Below Deck if you've seen it on Bravo, maybe.
So I try my best to avoid the below deck, and drama and everything, but
Right.
it is inevitable when you
I mean,
have that
yeah.
many people in that close quarters. So, I mean, I have played counselor.
Well, that's what I was
many
going to say. You're
times.
really a part-time therapist, I feel like, as a boat captain in your scenario.
I mean, we love women, but you get 2 or 3 of them on the same boat and it creates a drama, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I
The
guys get 3
I can-
guys that way too.
No,
right?
it doesn't,
Not
man.
the
I
same
can
way on
have
a
6
boat.
guys, 2
Yeah,
or 3 girls.
You're right.
Brilliant.
That's an
Let's all
unpopular
write that
opinion.
down, shall we?
Now for a word of
We
caution.
can't be that discouraged.
I'm sorry.
Unpopular opinion.
Yeah,
Ladies,
my bad.
ladies, I just want you to know we stand with you. I think
We
guys
do.
can be really a big pain in the keister too.
Okay, sorry.
So,
You're
but
right.
in your profession, there is a mixture of guys and girls, and maybe it's the guys are outside, and maybe when you put anybody of any gender in tight quarters, they really rub each other the wrong way. That's probably what that would be the phrase that might have come out.
You're never more than 120 feet apart.
108 feet. Yeah.
But
Never more than 108 feet apart. That's great. That's awesome. Well, listen, I want to play now our new game, What the Hell Do I Know? I'm going to do this a little bit differently since I have you both here, and I want to split it up a little bit. So I'm going to give the first 3 questions. I'm going to go to Brad. No, I'll do the first 4 questions. I'm going to go to Brad, and then I'm going to do number 4 again to Stan. So I'll do 4, 5, 6, and 7 to Stan. So you're going to
There's
get
a
4.
4A and a 4B.
There's 8. There's going to be 8 questions. He's going to get the first 4. I'm going to ask his last one. Same to you. This is really confusing, but we're going to try to go. Here goes the clock. Stay with me, people.
Wait, we're on a timer?
What the hell do I know? You are on a timer. Here we go. Question number 1. Where is your favorite fish to catch?
Where?
Where on the world, on the planet, catching fish? Where do you like to fish
my
the
favorite
most?
place to
Fishing
fish?
spot, yeah.
Easily Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Sorry, I could have
Easily.
worded that better.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
Number 2, what is your favorite fish to eat?
My favorite, Wahoo.
Wahoo, nice. Number 3,
Don't overcook it.
Well, I kind of, I think no. You know what I meant to say is, what is your favorite fish to catch?
Oh, blue marlin.
Blue marlin. Okay. Number 4, if you were to tell your 16-year-old self anything, what would it be?
So this is very good for the young listeners. So this is what I want to say. Like, you are so
You're on
wrapped
time.
up. How much time?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So you're so wrapped up about, like, you need to know what you want to do with your life. Like, you got to know, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do in school? You're so young at that point, right? And I want to tell these kids, like, be patient and find something that you're passionate about, right?
Yeah.
When you're that young, you have no clue who you are. You have no clue what you want to do. I was lucky, and by the age of 22, I found something that I was really passionate about. And they always say it: if you find something that you love, you never work a day in your life, right?
Oh,
and
wow.
hey, can you press brilliant or something? I mean, that was...
You're on a timer.
Okay, sorry.
Stan, same question to
Okay.
you. If you were to tell your 16-year-old self anything, what would it be?
No pressure, bro.
No pressure. You can pass.
Brad hit it on the nose,
Yeah.
I think I followed the same suit, I was playing baseball at 16, and I thought that was my dream I was going to pursue, and that didn't work out, but I was fishing, and I was like, it just felt
Nice. No, it's really good. By the way, y'all both passed on the timer there, but I think it was Brad's story. But we're going to finish
I
it.
didn't know it really was a timer. I thought it was a joke.
It was kind of a joke.
That's you
But
believe
it
it.
definitely is
Yeah,
going
you
to
gotta
go. Number 5, toughest poker opponent at the table.
Oh.
Drew Armacost.
really?
That hurts.
I want to pass it around. Who would you say?
Curtis is my hardest.
Curtis.
I can't read him.
Curtis is, yeah.
I cannot read him,
He's
man.
pretty crazy.
He hides behind that beard.
He didn't get no beard.
Yeah, Curtis.
Does he?
Pretty positive that he does have a
Not-
beard.
I have to give Drew praise too. I would say Drew. Drew might be.
Drew just sits
my
there and
toughest one.
stops
He's
and
really
just
tough.
does this.
Nah, Drew is.
Yeah, and so you feel like you have a read, and then he turns over pocket aces, and you're like,
What makes me
did this come
easy?
from?
What makes me easy?
I don't think
An
so.
easy
Well,
poker.
so
Bluff.
the one thing is you don't bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I know that in saying that there will be a bluff in there. I'm willing to let one go.
No, I
mean,
don't
but
lie.
You really
I don't bluff.
you-
I'm just an honest
First off,
person.
we said
overall.
don't bluff. We didn't say don't lie. We
Okay.
just said you don't bluff.
I don't lie either.
Bluffing ain't lying.
Bluffing ain't like, hey,
Until
I'm
you
the
get
most
caught.
honest person you'll ever meet, except for at a poker table.
And fishing stories.
Yeah, maybe.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Best. Hey, by the way, finish this up. Best boat you've captained.
The best boat.
Best boat.
Even freelance, like all boats.
All boats. All boats.
Probably 72 Viking.
That you're on now?
Viking, the FNS.
Oh, the
72.
FNS.
Yeah. You never
So it
know.
runs nice.
It was a sick.
You never
Right.
know.
You never know.
Gotcha.
72 FNS.
Gotcha. Nice. And then most famous person you know or have met.
Oh. I guess it has to be Emerald.
Emerald Lagasse.
No,
Did he bring on any
singer,
stars?
but-
Did he bring on any stars on the boat to fish with him? I mean,
Is Drew Brees more famous than Emerald?
Drew Brees
Is
could
Roy
be interesting.
Jones Jr.?
Yeah, but you worked alongside Emerald, so that's like kind of getting to know somebody when you fish with them as many
Right.
times as you had the opportunity to fish with them. Drew Brees. I mean, did you throw footballs with the guy, or did he like sign something?
He signed a football.
I just feel like that doesn't count. Like you
Will you sign my baby?
did you tattoo his signature? Never mind. We don't want to see it.
What's the singer from Night
Oh,
Town?
that Ken.
Ken,
Yeah,
the singer from
skating
Night
rink
Town.
girl.
What's the girl?
Yeah,
What's
she's
her
got to be the most
Raquel.
famous. Raquel.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
gotta be the
Gotta be the
Who,
most
who is
famous.
this?
Raquel.
Oh, Raquel. That's an inside joke.
That's she was a one-hit wonder back in the
you know the song.
Look her up on your
I don't
screen.
know if
Nobody.
In a Dream.
Do we know this song?
I think it's called In a Dream.
By
It's
the
a
way,
skating rink.
in a dream.
by the way, you guys are now off the hot seat. You failed it miserably, but we still love you.
Okay.
Let's go.
So yes, absolutely. We'll give you applause here. So super excited.
Sorry
that you,
for the long answer to question 3. That was my fault.
That was 4.
By the way,
Four, sorry.
it was a long answer to 4, but I also thought it was really good.
Well,
so
we're trying to influence people here as well. I mean, what the hell do
you
I
want to
know?
have fun? Yeah, what the hell do you know?
I don't.
I mean, yeah, but look, you played the game. You came. You had fun. I had fun. It was fun. Do you have anything y'all want to share about your work and what's going on? I mean, we kind of did new news, so why don't we just go to this reel? I think we're going to skip that part. I normally is going to have you say like kind of what's going on new. But I feel like we covered that in the new news. Oh, by the way, you did say your program's coming back here to Destin.
Roger.
So for like
we do 6 months down south.
Okay, so now you're 6 months back here,
and then the fleet comes back for 6 months in
excited
Destin.
about this.
Greg, can you share with everybody all the boats and types of boats in your fleet?
Okay, so currently we have a 108 Broward, a 65 Viking that is an 06 that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like redone. And, I'm going to screw this up, but I think it is a 61 Cigarette with 6 outboards.
Nice.
And then we have a 52.
Is this the boat that flies around here in the bay?
It's the Batmobile.
That's the Batmobile boat.
I think it's a
my
52 MTI. Look it up.
By the way, if you come down to the Emerald Coast, and again, if you're going to come down to the Emerald Coast, you're going to hate Crab Island, so you don't want to ever go there and stay away. But some of us go there, and we force ourselves sometimes to be around that area. The Batmobile, though, is this black kind of cigarette boat, right? I mean, it is fly. It goes around the bay.
It's got takes jet fuel, right?
It goes around the bay.
Yeah.
We have to get special fuel
Take the
for it.
entire bay in from like my house to Crab Island. Well, for me, it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
I'll say 30.
30 minutes for
There it
me
is.
in that
Yep.
whaler I've got
That's
out
it.
back.
There it is.
Yeah, that boat
An MTI.
is great. We'll put that up for you. That boat flies, but I bet it does it in like 10 minutes.
180 miles an hour.
I
15
don't know
minutes?
if I want to ride that.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
have you
so
been in?
fast.
He has asked me multiple times.
It's
I
so
will not
fast.
get in it.
Yeah, it seems
I mean,
like
it's
a dead trap.
barely touching the water,
No.
right? It's
Yeah.
barely touching the water.
I think 40 knots is about my
I've
max.
seen
What is the
those things
speed on the
flip.
water with that boat?
180 miles an hour.
On the water, 180 miles an hour.
crazy.
Oh.
You're doing that though when it's a 0 day, right? You're not doing that at ones and twos.
1 or 2 foot chop, but
You can do a
nothing
little
over
chop.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
When you're going that fast, you actually stay on top of the waves because
Gotcha.
there's no in between, right?
Right.
The front of the last wave or the back of the last wave is the front of the next wave. Like
You're just going straight across.
straight over.
Yeah, so you're not feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We'll see them fly around as we get in, we're going to lunch or whatever, and we're tooling
that
around the
one
bay.
with the helicopter. Go up.
Oh,
Go
that's
up one.
amazing.
That's all of them with the helicopter.
Oh, is that the whole picture of the
Yeah.
fleet? All right, so we'll post a picture of this fleet. Now, we're missing the big boat probably in there, aren't we?
The Abigail and the Viking, yeah.
I saw them docked out at that 850 wharf the other day. We went to
I was there.
lunch there. No, this was a couple months back.
Oh, I was there.
They had the helicopter there. They had the
Actually,
helicopter there and
took
everything.
over Al Copeland. Remember Al Copeland?
wow.
Before he passed away, he used to always bring all of his toys.
And put 'em all out,
That
get 'em
was
all
his fleet.
out. Oh.
Except that he was like
Gotcha.
red and white.
There's the Abigail, but the
Ah.
They're
Viking's
they're all
nice.
blacked out.
Now, I've heard when you have a boat that has dark hull, black, navy,
tough to take care of.
Tough to take care of. Like, isn't the white hull the easy? I mean, it looks so slick when you put like a champagne on the bottom of a boat or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. But it's harder to take care of, right? When you get a ding.
Well, I mean, I think if salt like dries up on a black hole, I think it sticks out like a sore thumb. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, and sun.
So you
tints
have
of
those boats get washed.
We have a big crew, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's no excuse for, black's harder to take care of. It's like,
Now, there's got to be some drama in the wash room with those guys. I feel like those guys are probably
Okay.
hard to
I mean,
deal with
you know,
in the wash crew.
He's
right?
looking- he's digging for
I
drama.
would like to take back my comment
he's digging.
earlier. I'm sorry for what I said about the females, but no, males, we don't have any drama
No
between
drama.
us, man.
No
It's crazy.
drama. All right.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, man, we're gonna tackle this together.
Hey,
Hold my
Juice,
hand.
I want to go to the reel of the day, though. Let's move
let's
on
see.
from this. I really enjoyed, by the way, going down and seeing these boats. The audience, when you can view this on video and see these boats, you should watch the video. They are beautiful boats, and when you're down the Emerald Coast and you see the Batmobile flying through the bay, especially around Crab Island, you need to. You can think about our friend here, Brad. He is probably not sitting. Captain Brad is probably not sitting in that Batmobile.
Captain
but,
Brad will be on one of the slower
but he will
boats.
supervise the washing of it.
Yes.
He will
But
call 911.
Let's watch this video here.
Okay, reel of the day.
So this guy,
Is that a black bear?
this man dresses up as a bear. Look at this. We're gonna have to replay this video though. Eat it.
That is a really, really good costume, though. I thought that was legit a bear.
We gotta let this thing roll back. We've got to let it roll back. Look how he's walking up though. He has no clue.
Hey,
Oh man, there he is.
just
Forrest
thinks
Gump, man.
I am giving the same reaction though. I'm not even making fun of that guy.
Look, he's waving to him. Like, what bear waves?
He keeps running. Now he's doing the worm.
His other friends started to take off. It's just so good.
Who chooses the reel of the
So
day?
my brother-in-law
Juice?
sent me this. My brother-in-law sent me this reel. In fact, if you're listening and you have a funny reel, DM me, send it to me, tag me in it. I'd love to see this funny reel because we love this material. But my brother-in-law sent this to me, and I could not stop laughing when I saw it. I said that's going to be our reel of the day today. So in fact, he just sent this to me today, and I thought
See,
it was,
in the
it was
comment
great.
says this was filmed in 1996.
Oh, yeah, the camera angle. Never run from a beer. What do you say? I understand running, but I don't understand why he would run.
Well, they said,
to his
there's
truck.
like a rhyme you're supposed to follow.
right?
Like,
Aren't you supposed to?
if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down.
Brown lay down. Is that right?
Yeah.
That would have been better had he stood up to it. That would have been pretty funny. That would have been pretty funny to see what that would
I would have ran. Honey P. I'm out.
Honey P.
Yeah.
You gone. I love it. Honey P. Brad. Yeah, man.
You're listening to What the Hell Do I Know with JB. JB with ADHD. Elemental P. Anyway, back to the show.
By the way, where does Honey P come from? I mean, you just decided to shorten 100%.
Yeah, it's a really long. Total.
100%.
Yeah. So
100 Honey P.
Yep.
Honey P. I like it. I'm all in.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're giving us time limits. I'm trying to.
No time limits
okay.
now.
Yeah. Okay,
just on the question and answer
okay,
session.
got it.
Guys, when I was, we're talking a little bit today, kind of about patience and fishing and waiting, but a lot of that works in life. There was a time when we had a 65-foot motor yacht at one point in time that I was able to captain all the way to New Orleans, and then I captained it all the way down to the Bahamas.
Nice.
And so everything in between went around the whole. And so one time we were in the Bahamas. What's that resort there? It's the only one, Resort World on. No, it's
on
Resort
Nassau?
World. No, it's the first
Bimini?
one, Bimini. Resort World in Bimini.
Resort
we're leaving
World.
out there. We're going to West Palm, showing ones and twos. We get outside of it. Next thing you know, the wind's coming out of the north, so it's headed north.
The worst. The worst.
Right?
the Gulf
And
Stream.
so I'm
Gulf
going,
Stream's going.
and I'm going to West Palm from Bimini, so I'm headed north. I'm headed northwest. It's coming down north, like kind of south
and
or
you have the
whatever.
current
So
from
I've
the
got the
stream.
cross. I kind of have it crossing, so I'm getting it on what they call the beam. So those of you listening, I'm getting the waves are coming and rocking me left to right, side to side. And they were not ones and twos. They were like fives and some sixes, maybe.
And who was your crew at
sevens or
this
eights.
point? Your
my
family?
Crew was my family.
Awesome. And they.
Yes.
It's going to be your fault, by the way, every time.
yeah.
It is
100%.
100% your fault if you're out there.
Now,
every time.
fortunately, I turned into the wave and bowed in and started getting it into the Bahamas, into the Bahamian water again where it rested. And then I turned around and started timing and got following seas, essentially.
Wow.
So I timed it, and then I decided I went into Fort Lauderdale. Took me a little longer. I got into Fort Lauderdale, and then I took the ICW in the busiest time in the world when nobody's in the ocean and every bridge.
It's never
So 12
fast.
hours later, I made it to West Palm. It was insane.
You got to wait every half hour.
Oh, and
on the hour.
It was rocking so bad. I was up on the fly bridge when it started really going, and you just feel like you almost could touch the water, And I remember my wife went down into the salon, which what we're talking about, the fly bridge is the very top of this boat. The next level down is enclosed, and we call it the salon, but think about it as a living room for the boat. And went down there, and two of my kids were like holding on to the floor, and just holding on to everything. And then my youngest daughter, she goes down then into the hull and into the bedrooms. Our youngest daughter, though,
Worse.
she is sitting on her bed watching a movie and like eating breakfast. And she's iron stomach, this girl. And nothing.
That's pretty good. That's the worst place to be.
It is, but she was having a
Did
great
you have
time.
a seakeeper on that boat?
I did, but that's not touching that. I mean, a seakeeper is not touching that.
Oh,
yeah,
it was that.
It was that bad.
Yeah.
And so
Hey,
I
but
took,
great captain move there. Tacking.
yes.
So you tacked up,
tacked
and then
up
tacked
and
back
then
down.
tacked back down. Got in the following. So basically, I just kind of found the center in between the two and just kind of rode, essentially surfed a wave in, right? And so we just timed it and slowed it down and found that to be the safest thing back. But there are times then I should have waited, and I just shouldn't have gone. I mean, do you find yourself in that situation? And you guys are captaining for clients, you're captaining for guests, you're captaining for different things. Do you find yourselves having to play that waiting game and explain that to people, and do people understand that?
Constantly.
The only time where the weather, like if it's like questionable and we'll go, is like in a tournament. We're like, oh man, there's all this money on the line. We need to go.
So that's when you're pressing it.
That's when we're pressing the weather.
Or if you don't have the owners on board and there's a timeline you have to meet, right?
Really?
Like,
Okay.
all right, I
Deadline.
need to be in the Bahamas by tomorrow, but it's going to be rough. Okay, me and my crew can handle it, so we'll
But you
take
still
it.
know, but you still have your limitations, right? I mean, are there
Absolutely.
scenes that you just wouldn't do?
You don't want to be unsafe, and you don't want to hurt the boat, right? Like,
Right.
at the end of the day, you don't want to get there and have to fix it.
Yeah, you
Right.
want to create work.
So there's a safety marker that you're just not going to go past.
But like you did,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're trusting these guys, whoever comes up with these forecasts,
That's true.
extended forecasts,
That's true.
and
That's true.
at the end of the day,
Sometimes
they do
you
their
just find
best.
yourself in the situation, right?
Or a certain squall or a
Lows
phenomenon
can develop,
that happens.
like
yeah.
while you're out there. We spend like 2-3 days out there, and a low might develop while you're
Right.
out there,
Right.
and it goes.
It's unforecastable.
Well, and then you just have to kind of pivot and adjust, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm offshore like 200 miles sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't have cell phone signal. I mean,
Oh, we do now with
You do?
the
Oh, you've got
invention of
Starlink.
Starlink.
is
Thanks,
unbelievable.
Elon.
Thank you.
So, what are
Elon,
y'all's favorite laws to
absolutely.
break in international waters?
Favorite
Yeah,
laws to
what's your
break
favorite laws to break?
We don't-
in
we don't break
international
laws.
waters? Yeah.
We don't
I
break.
guess.
In
No
order
law breaking here.
to uphold your
I just renewed my license, so
No, you
we don't break laws.
How long is the license good for?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to tell kind of a client or or maybe it's a deckhand or somebody that you worked with or coming on the boat that like, no, it's just not going to work
Oh.
out.
Absolutely. You mean no? We're not going.
We're not
or-
going. Yeah,
or
we're
no,
not going, or you can't
that,
do
or
this,
no-
or-
yeah.
I mean, have you had to take that stand and just say, I mean, because sometimes it's the best thing they need to hear,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, so what?
You can't just be a yes man in this business,
Right. Well, you're when you're the captain, even if there's an owner on board, you're still the captain of the vessel.
and at the end of the day, everything that happens out there is your responsibility.
Right.
And
Correct.
they're all their souls
All
are your
the
responsibility.
lives,
Yeah.
the vessel you're on, everything is under your command, and it's your responsibility to make sure everybody's safe. So rarely will you come across somebody that will argue to say, "Hey, no, we're doing it." No, it's.
Yeah.
But there are times where it's like, "No, this is not safe."
100%, man. Honey P.
Honey P.
Honey P. Yeah, we had this one captain one time of a plane, so had the chance to fly private once, and this guy said on his like I think he was calling into some bad weather or something. He called in and he said they asked him over the air traffic control, how many souls do you have on board? I thought that took it to a different level. How
That
many
does.
souls do you have on board? You guys should start using that when they get on and say, we've got, listen, there's 12 souls on board today.
Call that in.
Call that in. Have you found yourself, hopefully you've never found yourself needing to be rescued, but there was a time when, I took that 65 out to Mid-Bay Bridge, and we had a group that wanted to go Sunset Little Cruise and charcuterie board and all that stuff, and we took it out past Sunset Bridge, and the weather started getting bad, and I'm like, all right, we're not going all the way. We're not doing the full tour now. We're headed back in. As we were heading back in, this guy from Niceville, this young boy, had a sailboat that he had lost control of and was about to hit Mid-Bay Bridge, and he didn't have an anchor. He threw his anchor out. It broke off, and he was there with his grandmother. It's like a 22-foot sailboat.
Wow.
His grandmother was like shivering in the middle as the rain. And so, they're calling Mayday to Coast Guard, and I hear it. And I actually went out there and I threw him a line and held him.
You saved Mid-Bay
I
Bridge.
saved
It could have collapsed. Dude, it could have collapsed.
man.
Could have collapsed.
You totally saved Mid-Bay Bridge.
Destin, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I have had to stop and I've had to stop and check on a couple pontoon boats that lost power on the way, like on an outgoing tide.
Yeah.
Like lost power and I'm like, what are y'all doing out here? Number one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's just it happens every year.
Oh,
You
every
hear
day
about
at Crab Island's a crap show.
Yeah, I mean, they just give anybody the keys to these pontoon boats. Like,
Oh.
here you go, thanks. It'll be $150.
Yeah, so here's a tip of the day. If you're coming to Emerald Coast, at least watch the safety video.
Pay
At least
attention.
watch the safety video. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't get behind the boat. Really, ever. I know you want to jump off of it. I would say ever, because somebody's going to turn that engine on. And, I mean, how many times a year does somebody have to be hit by a propeller and almost lose their leg before people go, don't swim around an engine?
Probably three times.
I mean, three times a year,
at least.
and then it stops.
No,
But
it
then it
doesn't stop.
restarts.
It's
It
just- yeah, it's
restarts
3
the
times
next
a
year.
yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy how many people lose their life or a limb. You know, and then swimming out in the current in Crab Island, it can be dangerous. By the way, we always joke around about you don't want to go see Crab Island, but just, there are excursions you can buy and things you can do, and if you do it safely and you operate safely and you think about it and you have flotation devices, these places can be a lot of fun down here, and they can be. And us locals, we always love you here coming because, well, we depend on the business. But we want you to be safe. Everybody in this area wants you to be safe, for sure.
You talked about anxiety as a captain.
Yeah.
When you're on anchor or moving around Crab Island, and it's not you.
Right.
It's
Everybody
around
jet
you. Oh,
skis.
my gosh.
Yeah.
That's the most anxiety
Well,
I
the
think I have.
boat you're operating, everybody wants to come around and look at it.
That's what I'm saying. That makes it even more,
Yeah.
right? Because
That's right. They want to see who's on that boat. What's going on there?
you can get
Sometimes
wrapped
they
up
just
in an
don't.
anchor.
It doesn't matter how big it is; they don't see you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They just don't know the currents either, right?
No,
I
they
mean,
don't.
They
They
have
don't.
no
Well,
idea.
you know, those anchors sometimes they don't hold. My father-in-law had a 65 Marquis, and he was anchored right outside Crab Island one time. He jumped off, took his dinghy to go.
no.
He jumped off to
nobody
take
was
his
on
dinghy.
board?
No, we were all on board.
Oh,
But he jumped off to go pick up, like, my mother-in-law. She was out shopping. He's going to go to, like, Dewey, Destin or whatever, and that little dock, and pick her up and then just run her back over onto the boat. And nobody. He had the keys. He took the keys with him as anchor.
No.
And as he came back, his boat starts dragging into another boat, and so, like, me and 15 other guys put our hands on this other boat. We're
fenders.
literally no fenders. We're literally holding him off. And to his credit, he just calmly pulls his tender right up to the side, steps right on out, throws a line to somebody. They hold his tender. He walks right to the cockpit. And the helm, and turns the ignition on and gently moves the boat forward. I mean, just no panic. I mean, one of the few people I've ever known in my life to simply act. He never had panic.
cannot panic.
It's
Just-
the only
he didn't
way.
get super
Never
excited.
panic.
He didn't get super excited. He just knew what he had to do, and he did it.
People think that, like, okay, their skill in driving the big boats. It's actually easier to drive a big boat than it is a
okay.
small. People don't realize
Yeah.
that. But what it takes is a cool head, man.
Cool head.
A cool head.
Cool heads prevail a lot of times. We're going to give you a
Brilliant.
second.
Let's all write that down,
Notes.
shall we,
You're-
class?
That's my third brilliant.
Yeah,
by the
you're
way.
you're down. You're
Yeah,
down.
that's
You're
my third
three,
brilliant.
Stan.
Oh, I didn't know they were bad or good marks.
No, but he brought the lumpia, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry.
Just glad to get marks.
Yeah, you got something. You got to get something, right? No, that's good. That's right. So, how long do you wait at a spot? You talked about fishing spots earlier, Stan, and how you look for certain things and identify certain markers in the water.
He has a
and-
cheat code now.
Yeah, you go with a fish.
You probably know where certain spots are, which, by the way, I know fishermen don't ever tell you your spots. I wouldn't ask you for your
Well-
spots. But when you go, how long do you wait at a spot? You're out there with somebody fishing. How long do you wait at it?
I'll wait, or I'll fish an area until I feel like I've pounded it and fished every way that I could.
But it's a feel thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a feel thing. Like, if I look around and it doesn't have any of the, signs that anything's going to be there,
Right.
I'd pick them
You're
up.
out.
Let's go.
Right.
But if I feel like something's coming, I'm like, we're going to wait.
So
it
it's
out.
really a feel thing.
I've stayed at the same rig like 3 days.
Really?
Yeah, didn't leave.
Did it work?
Yeah.
So ultimately you're feeling like you're like a
I'm like,
savant.
man, they gotta come
You're like
back.
a fishing savant.
Never leave fish to find fish, right?
Never leave fish to find fish.
Yeah.
Are they everywhere?
Essentially.
Fish.
Yeah.
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 So I go.
Hey man, they got to come by you sometime,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
That's true. I mean, but you're having the luxury too of you're taking out very specific clientele when you're fishing or you're tournament fishing for something.
Right.
Whereas I think some of these commercial fishermen, right, if you were in Destin and you've got a half-day charter.
Maybe charter, not commercial. Commercial and charter.
Well, you're right. So charter
if you're,
fishing.
Exactly.
Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah.
No problem.
No, I appreciate that you're getting that.
Oh, wow.
Warning.
Now for a word of caution.
Warning. Unpopular opinion.
Oh, is that mine?
No, that's for Brad. I'm giving his first one.
thought those were
Honestly,
mine.
that wasn't an honest one. He was just correcting my vernacular of not knowing,
Yes.
my ignorance in the terms on fishing. But so you
So
had
charter,
but
yep.
charter captains and commercial charters are two different things.
There's no like a commercial.
Commercial's not
fisherman
chartering.
are
Commercial
supplying
fishing.
us
I understand.
with our.
So charter fishing
Okay, there you go.
captains
Yep.
and fishing boats in Destin, where people listening, this audience that may be traveling in or even living local, and chartering a boat for half a day, they're probably going to a spot, and if it's not hitting right, they're moving pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because their job is to get you catching fish.
Right.
And they don't have 3 days to
That's
sit around, right?
A lot of times that's a different style of fishing. They might be bottom fishing.
A lot of it is bottom
yeah,
fishing,
pretty
right?
much.
A lot of it is. Where you're primarily trolling for big,
Correct. Yeah.
big pelagic sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Pelagic species.
Pelagic.
They're traveling around. And stuff
Lumpia.
like that.
Lumpia.
That's all. Tomato.
Gotcha.
You
Charter
learn how to
commercial.
talk, Becker,
I
dude.
do.
Damn.
You think you'd learn how to speak when you got a podcast.
Oh man.
For sure.
But yeah, so they'll go if they got a 6-hour charter. They got a lot of pressure to produce it. But with all the limitations and stuff nowadays,
bag limits.
There's bag limits and stuff like that.
Okay.
We got a short snapper season, and now you can only keep like 2 snappers, and there might only be people that just show up for snapper season,
Okay.
and then when those aren't in the season, I think right now it's like triggerfish season. You can keep one
Wow.
per person.
Wow.
So you better load.
That's
the
a good
boat.
fish to eat, though.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
They're really controlling it, I guess, for the population.
Isn't there a lot of triggerfish though? Like I always catch them when I'm snapper fishing.
Yeah, there's a lot of short ones.
Well, they're trying to get those grown.
The limit is 16 inches, and you'll catch 75 15-inchers. Like there's
75, 15
it's
inches.
like
Right.
right there.
Right. I mean, have you ever worked with those guys? I know you guys probably don't do this, but I mean, have you ever worked with you pound the fish a little bit? I just feel like sometimes these boat kind of like if they pounded, I could
don't
get
break the
another
law.
inch.
Yeah, you want to confess
We
on
don't
camera,
break the
dude?
law.
Yeah. No, I know you guys don't, but do you know anybody with guys?
I got caught a
heard
long time
Did
ago.
you?
A captain that I worked for made me. He watched me measure the fish, and I was about to throw it back, and we only needed a couple more for our limit, and he's like, "Just throw it in there. We don't have much more time." And I'm like, "Really? Okay." So we throw it in there, and FWC was waiting on us
On the dock. Was that was in Destin, right?
That was in Destin.
That
and they
happens.
measured
They do it.
Yeah.
$500 a fish.
Wow.
And he wanted to fight it. I mean, so we went to Shalimar and went to court. But yeah,
Man.
Did you win it?
did we win it? You know what?
You don't
I
remember?
actually quit the dude after that because
Well, you didn't pay the fine. It was really on his boat.
It would have been on his boat,
yeah,
but he
'cause he's
made
the
me
captain.
dress up and go to court with him.
Really?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
What a jerk.
Yeah, it didn't last much longer after that.
Where? What is?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, listen, you guys will probably appreciate this. The great Mark Twain said, "Do not tell fish stories where the people you know, particularly, don't tell them where they know the fish."
Say it again.
Okay. Do not tell fish stories where the people you know,
Got it.
particularly don't tell them where you know the fish.
So one thing our first captain did was really hard for me is he was very, he wanted everything to keep quiet. And he actually, when we would come in, he's like, all right, tell them this is where we caught it, right? And it'd be like,
Oh, wow.
and it wouldn't be the truth. And
Wow.
as we know, I don't bluff ever. So,
Right.
I'm having to go back to my homies, and I'm trying to tell them a fish story, and I can't tell the truth about it. And it was really hard for me for a while.
Right.
And then when I became a captain, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell them. Whatever.
Yeah.
Here's
what
where
are
I
a
caught it.
list of y'all's favorite coordinates? Yes. Run them off real
we'll
quick.
post those. Those will be next to the
Yeah.
Pia
All right.
link.
We'll get those
and,
Bring that mic up a little bit to
Just
you.
Google
but yeah, we definitely want to hear those coordinates there.
Destin fishing spots.
Destin fishing spots. Those are great
Destin
spots.
fishing
Hey,
spots.
was Captain Ken Blackman the captain that made you smush the fish?
No.
Okay.
And we call Captain Ken.
Stan's brother.
Stan's brother's also a captain.
We call him Sunscreen because he's
Sunscreen.
Should have wore sunscreen.
he is the darkest Filipino you'll ever meet.
I love it. Cherokee Indian. But yeah, I love it. I love it.
Cheekbones.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot in common, me and Stan, and that Cherokee
He's a
blood.
huge Florida State fan also, so he's a...
Wrong.
Oh, what?
Ken.
That's Ken.
I know, I'm
He's
messing
Florida.
with you.
He's
He's a Gator.
He's the other guy.
He's a Gator.
He loves being in this room, the Bulldog room.
What was that baseball score today?
Yeah. We don't. Nobody watches baseball.
Okay, all right. Well, it's
would
Florida State, Florida
What would
game.
you say is the best whale story that you've ever heard? Like this guy came in and they told you about this fishing
Whale?
day there. Like the whale of a story.
Oh,
the biggest
Captain
fishing
Grander?
story that you guys ever had. Somebody came, they told you a story, and you're like, there is no way that happened.
Actually, I think I could do one a little bit better because I was telling the story so much about one trip that this guy liked it. Another guy on the dock liked it. And like a month later, I hear him telling my story. And I'm turning around, I'm like, wait a minute. And he goes, no, it happened another time.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Nice
no,
try.
so I'll tell you what it was. I won't say any names, but so I was fishing on a boat called the Motherlode, and we're trolling down this weed line. We see a whale shark come up
Okay.
on the weed line, right? We throw around it, nothing. We keep going down the weed line, catch a couple white marlin, and another whale shark pops up. And while we're looking at that, another boat, the captain they hooked a blue marlin. The blue marlin, they hooked it up behind the boat. It jumps around the boat, and the captain runs over the fish. They lose it. Now those are some significant things that happen, like events that happen.
Yes.
So I'm telling the story, and then like 2 months later, I'm on the dock, and this guy's telling my story like he was there, and I was like, "Wait, you were there?" He goes, "No, man, it happened another time." I go, "What? That series of events happened twice?"
That's crazy. So my son did a little fishing video in a YouTube channel that he did, and he get people to send him free stuff, rods and different things, and hats and T-shirts and fishing shirts and stuff. And but he would do inshore fishing really right here off the Baytown Marina. That's some great reds and trout right there, as you guys know, having worked out of that marina and continue to work out of that marina. But he put his YouTube camera, his what do you call it, the what's the box?
A GoPro, maybe? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I should know that. That's terrible. I mean, I'm getting myself to search them.
I really thought you would have researched a lot of fishing stuff before we came. I did so much research on your show before it came.
The GoPro. So he had a GoPro, and he was filming it, and he caught this fish. And I think he had one on his helmet or his chest one, and then I think he had one somewhere
That's cool.
else.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so he's out fishing. He catches this massive redfish, and he's bringing this redfish in, and I guess he had a cork on it or bobber.
Okay.
And so, but his line breaks. The red's so big, his line breaks. It's gets it 5 feet to the boat, and it breaks. And so he's upset, restrings, hates this. The one that got away. He's fishing. Now, when you're fishing right there by that kind of almost the island green part.
The channel, and then that flat that comes out.
It's so flat right there. Mm-hmm. He says an hour later, he's got it on video. An hour later, he turns around
and he sees
there's
his cork.
This little popper cork. So he gets out of the boat and he slowly walks over to the grass area and just quickly reaches down and grabs his cork and pulls the.
Is that all on GoPro?
All on GoPro. I have to find the videos, and it's the most amazing story.
That's clip of the week next week.
Maybe.
That's got to be.
On YouTube. You say he's got a YouTube.
That's clip of the week right there. That's pretty incredible.
Becker's Saltwater Guide on YouTube. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But his video needs to be edited because I think he has it's like the whole wait for it to come back. So I need to edit. We're not watching this video right now, but
I got
but
you.
it needs to be edited down because you could edit that into a 30 or 60 seconds, and it's pretty significant how it goes. But it's pretty amazing. By the way, shout out again to Stan's mom's lumpia. Stan, tell me where they can reach out to you. I mean, your mom, where can they get some of this great Philippine delicacy?
It's on the eBay.
If they couldn't get it from your mom, where would you find
It's on the eBay.
lumpia?
There's a couple Filipino restaurants.
No, but let's mark it for Marga.
Yeah, dude.
If you don't get it through me,
Look.
via DM and JB.
Yeah, just JB, hit me up,
hit
hit me
him
up,
up.
and let's see.
Dude, Danielle's
but
been
you gotta
selling
look at-
peach cobblers for $200. Like,
Oh, that's
crazy.
right. We set records with
So,
speech cobbler.
the
she
loop,
does,
yeah.
for sure. You never know,
You
man.
can do a dozen for
Could you get
$100.
it? Could you get it on Amazon? Could you order it? You think at like could I go to Publix and get lumpia?
It's not going to be the same quality.
It's not gonna be the same quality.
it's
No,
not
well,
gonna
this
have
is made by your
preservatives and
mom.
Stuff like that. It's not made with love.
By the way, thank you so much, Stan's mom's lumpia, for
Yeah.
sponsoring the show.
Do you know if there's any bioengineered ingredients in lumpia?
No,
Okay.
none at all.
Good,
It's just
good.
it
So I
is
eat it a lot.
But when she gets big orders, you can go over to her house when she's rolling like a couple thousand.
yeah.
It was like a Filipino sweatshop. A bunch of Filipino women in there playing mahjong.
Warning. Now for a word of caution.
Warning.
We had to hit him.
Unpopular
We had to hit him.
opinion.
Stan.
We had to hit him.
You jerk.
He's borderline. Had to rein him back
Yeah.
in. Had to rein him back in. Listen, we're going to play fact or fiction. You guys, I'm going to give you some fact or fiction. You have to tell me whether you think it's fact or fiction. I'll tell you if
How
you're
much
right or
time
wrong.
do we have?
Yeah,
Or no?
we're just going to wrap them
Okay.
off. No
Okay.
time, no clock. Jaguars, the animal. Jaguars have the strongest bite of the animal kingdom, but the smallest teeth. Fact or fiction? Strongest bite, smallest
to
teeth.
come up with that, to go out, you have to say fact. Like, who comes up with all
Well, yeah,
that without being a fact?
Fiction. Juice?
Fiction.
Fiction. It is fiction. Ding, ding, ding. Do we have a? What did the cash register?
Okay.
To avoid flashing aviation lights, the Tower of Terror in Orlando, Florida, at Disney. It's I guess Hollywood Studios. So the Tower of Terror. To avoid flashing aviation lights, the Tower of Terror in Orlando is exactly 199 feet tall. Fact?
Fact.
Fact or
Yes.
fiction?
Yes.
Yeah, he went to his resource.
I had a
Fact or
phone-
fiction? Fact or fiction? He went to the
friend.
studio audience.
Sounds like a fact.
It is a fact. Correct among the cows hate country music. Fact or fiction? Cows hate country
Sounds like
music.
it has to be
So we're not
so
talking
true
about-
to be
yeah.
a fact.
We're
I'm
talking
going to
about
say
cows.
fiction. I'm going to say fiction.
Fiction.
I'm going to say the cows that put off chocolate milk don't listen to country music.
Well,
Indeed, it is a fact. Cows hate country music.
How do they know that?
I don't know. I'm just reading off what
Okay.
this internet said.
That's
a man,
fake news.
Yeah, fake news. That's Brad. That's B-Rad. A man.
Stan brought it up, dude.
Stan brought it up. A man once wore 60 shirts and 9 pairs of jeans to the airport to avoid extra fees. Fact or fiction?
I
60 shirts, 9 pairs of jeans.
fact.
Yeah, I think that's
Fact.
I'll go with fact.
Fact,
think you put on
fact,
60,
ching. You guys are on a roll here. Polka dots.
crazy.
Polka dots in Rage Geese. Fact or fiction?
So far we've went fact,
I'm gonna
fiction,
go-
fact,
I'm gonna go
fiction,
fact.
fact. I'm going to go fiction.
Fact, fiction.
Fiction?
It is fiction indeed. We have 2 winners here. A Hooters
it's gonna be
waitress
fact.
once sued the restaurant chain because after winning a sales contest she thought was for a new Toyota, she received a toy Yoda figurine instead.
That's a
Fact
fact.
or
Yeah,
fiction?
that was recent, wasn't it?
Fact?
Fact.
I think facts all around. That is true. That is correct.
I
That
shared,
is
I
correct.
shared that news article.
Yeah, we saw you.
Did
Got
you?
to scramble
Did you,
your.
did you say that at
your
poker
answers
one
there.
time?
No, at the gym I work out at.
He shared the article.
I brought my keys in one time, and I was like, I got a Toyota. I'm like, don't you drive a Ford? I'm like,
Here's a toy
it's a
Yoda.
toy Yoda.
Stan's the king
That's
of dad
great.
jokes. But go
Bacon
ahead.
cheeseburgers are illegal in China. Fact or fiction? Bacon cheeseburgers. Bacon cheeseburgers. They are illegal in China. Fact
Sure.
or fiction?
Sure.
Fact.
Fiction. They have McDonald's.
They police
there.
everything.
Do they have
Or do they have
McDonald's?
bacon cheeseburgers?
Don't they do that at McDonald's?
Yeah,
Well,
they're
they
not-
may not in every country. I mean, you
I feel
know,
like
it's a
Muslims
little
maybe
different
because
in
of the
every
bacon,
country.
but
Can we
I'm
stop
gonna
the
go
clock?
fiction.
I
Are
gotta think. I gotta
Chinese
think
all
about this.
Muslim?
No, I'm saying Muslims don't eat bacon.
We're
that's-
talking about China.
I know,
Not
so I'll
India.
say fiction.
You're saying fiction. All right, good. Fiction is correct. We have completed that one. Well done, everybody. Well, nicely done.
What did I score on that round?
I don't want to keep it score. Quote of the day by Tay Tay. Now time for quote of the day by Tay Tay. This is Juice's favorite.
Taylor
part-
Swift?
Favorite. Taylor Swift, man. I'm a
Doing
girl.
quotes
I'm
Taylor
a
Swift
girl
on
dad.
every pod.
I'm a girl dad, man.
Okay.
I love Tay Tay. I'm all in on Tay Tay.
Okay.
Quote of the day by Tay Tay. She said, Romeo, save me. I've been feeling so alone. I keep waiting for you, but you never come. Is this in my head? I don't know what to think. This is from a song called a love story. I just thought it's interesting because it says, I keep
Fiction.
waiting for you.
Is that fiction?
I like it. So good. So good. But sometimes you have to wait. Sometimes you have to wait. We've talked about patience. We talked about waiting. We've talked about things you have to do. Stan, you waiting at spots because there's fish there, and you just have this feeling.
You know it's going to happen.
Sometimes,
Eventually, it's
sometimes good things come to those who wait.
Yep.
You know, when I was like 19, 20 years old, I guess I was 20. I think I was around 20 years old. Danielle and I have been dating like, oh gosh, I mean, it's 2-3 years at the time.
At
4 years.
19?
So we were dating. I was 17. She was 15. Yeah, it's crazy because now when you have kids that are that age, you're like, why did they let this happen? You know? So it's absolutely crazy. But you know, I was going off to school. She graduated high school. She was in college. I just like naturally progressing. I feel like we were dating 3 years. I was a junior in college. I wanted to propose to her. I knew that this was the woman I wanted to be with for the rest of my life. So naturally, I went to her dad, who was the most intimidating person I'd ever met. I mean, we certainly grew in an incredible relationship over many years, but back then, I mean, this guy, you know, he could just stare at you and it'd be like, all right, I'm sorry, I stopped. I don't even know what I did. In fact, I'll just go ahead and admit everything that I ever did wrong until you're okay, right? I mean, he just would look at you that way. But I remember I pulled him aside in this little hallway in their home, and I said, David, I need to talk to you. And I think he saw there was something serious. He looked at me, he's like, is everything, you okay? I'm like, why are you shaking? I'm like, I don't know. You know, he's just like, I just said, man, I want to ask, you know, your daughter's very important to me. Honestly, I fumbled over the words. Whatever I'm saying right now sounds a lot better than what I did. But, you know, I just said I wanted to ask your daughter's permission for your daughter's hand in marriage. And he looked at me straight in the eyes, man. He's like, I mean, do you have to do it now? And so what I took away from that was not a no. So, but he was so tough on me
Because she was a freshman.
He wanted to talk. He wanted to talk about like where are you at in life? You don't have to make this decision right now. There was a lot of this weight, but he was so smart because now we did end up getting engaged that winter. You know, not against his wishes, because ultimately he said yes, of course, I love you. I think you'd be great. I just don't know that you have to rush into anything. And then of course I explained that I wasn't rushing. We were going to finish school. We were going to finish these things. I just wanted to profess my love in the next step, which was engagement. But we fully planned, and we did have a very long engagement. And Danielle was able to pick out the exact date that she wanted, and the place that she wanted, and the flowers that she wanted. And it was honestly, to her dad's credit, he threw a party, and her mother as well, to the nines. This was an amazing wedding. I mean, to this day, I have people that come up and are like, your wedding's still like my favorite. It was probably the best party I've ever been to. I mean, it was amazing.
Can you pull up video?
So much funny. No video.
Oh,
we don't have any video of this like back then. That was the one thing we thought, we'll never watch this video. Nobody watches wedding videos. I wish. So here's a tip for you. A tip, really good tip. Get a wedding video. I know it's crazy, and you're thinking you're not going to watch it, but when you have kids, they're going to want to look back and see that, and it's going to be a really cool.
I didn't do one
experience for sure.
I was
for sure.
Do I have one?
But what benefits have you guys seen for waiting in your life, or maybe even a forced waiting period? You know, like when you just feel like, even I've been forced to wait, but in the long run, this worked out better. Do you have any examples of that may stick out?
Well, you knew early. Like for me, I think patience was. I didn't really know who Brad was, right, for a little while. And I didn't really know who I was, right? So how can I be with somebody? How can I know where I'm going? Like, I didn't have a career path. I didn't have, right? And the patience was, I needed to find me. I needed to find what I liked, what I wanted to do before I can bring somebody else in, right? Yeah.
What a great,
Brilliant. Let's all write that down, shall we, class?
So good.
Game 4 sweet, dude.
So good. What are you thinking there, Stan? Do you have any? Because waiting sometimes really does. It helps you discover yourself. There can be things that you need to grow up in business. Maybe that job's not right for you. Maybe you're waiting, but then something else comes along that's even better. Mm-hmm. Have you ever even had that sort of experience?
Yeah, probably when it comes to like job. When I was in the search for like jobs.
Sure.
Like just waiting it out. I didn't want to.
Not always running after the next best thing because something better could be coming along, right?
Right. So, there was like a 2-year period right there, probably like before my current job, there was, before COVID, a couple years after COVID,
right,
where I was just freelancing, waiting for the, right. I got to fish around freelancing,
right,
meeting different owners and people like that. And the patience was like, okay, I like this guy, but I had to find the right fit,
right,
and I was lucky enough to, to have the right fit where I'm at now.
So that patience really got you the right fit, and
correct.
So sometimes just waiting around, the fit comes to you even.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was at a
Brilliant.
point. You're at a point in your
Let's all
career
write that
too,
down, shall
where
we,
Stan
Klaus?
was sought after as well, so he could be patient, right? Like a
Well,
lot of
that's
people.
true.
Like
Sometimes when you're younger, you
It's
need
tough.
to take the
You've
job.
got
You
to.
need to
Right,
take the
right,
job
right.
that comes your way
Yes.
because you have skills still to learn.
Right.
As you build that in your career, you can
Agreed.
be more patient, more selective. No, that's a good point. That's a very good point. In our culture now feels like right now it's instant gratification, right? Instant gratification. That's
It's my kids dealing with that right now.
yeah. And I mean, what are the things that you think we can do to break instant gratification?
I don't know. Social media, little limitations. Like
Right.
my kid, that's his problem. Like I was like, hey Cal, why don't you stay home and just chill? Like because we had an appointment, we had a meeting in like an hour. He goes, well, what am I going to do? I'm like, he's like, there's nothing to do. I'm like, just sit in your room, watch TV, or sit here with hang out with me. And he's like, but that's boring. I'm like, oh my gosh. Our society now has a problem with they got to be instantly gratified because they're so used to swiping up,
swipe left, swipe right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No, it's tough.
problem in the long run for sure.
Well, I think it can be a problem for everybody. I mean, I have times where I get bored, and so I'll get on the reels and I'll just start scrolling through reels and not do anything, and then it's all of a sudden I'm like, 2 hours later, I'm like, what did I just do with my day?
So I started taking allergy shots and back in December, and I've had to, I could go twice a week or whatever. And anyways, I'm on my last 3. Anyways, I go into the shot, the allergy place, and you have to wait 30 minutes after the shot. They keep an eye on you, blah blah blah. And there'll be like 20 people in that waiting room.
Right.
I look around and everybody's on there, just swiping or playing.
We've got to have some sort of hump neck. Like 50 years from now.
Oh, evolution of people.
Evolution. That's exactly right. We're going to be birthing people that are going to have hump necks. And they'll be able to tie their shoes really well.
You should look at the vision chart,
it's crazy.
Dude. The vision chart on how vision has been affected by phones, how it's gone up, where because your kids are now focused on phones and tablets and computers, so their vision, it has to be developed. You have to look far away when you're young, and they're not, so their vision's getting jacked up, and it's like a huge problem.
Wow.
Maybe that's why I have to start wearing glasses.
Well,
now.
so the blue
Probably,
light blockers, if you get glasses, make sure to add the blue light to it. I've added blue light to all of my stuff just so that when I'm looking at the computer.
It's like a depth perception.
I just got my first prescription.
It's an older thing. In fact, somebody on one of our, I did a podcast, and one of our co-hosts, Brandon, who's not here today, he wore his cowboy hat backwards. It's the greatest thing ever.
Feel like a war veteran.
And he did. He looked like a Confederate general or something. It was so funny. And he didn't, but I didn't realize it till like the end of the show. So, but we caught it on an outtake, and so I think I posted a reel of him with his hat backwards. But gosh, I don't even know where I was going with that story. But that
vision, sir.
Vision.
You had a vision.
I think I did, but I don't even think it. Look, that's my AD.
Blue blockers.
Blue blockers. But yeah. So, somebody commented on. I said, "Can you see what's wrong with this podcast?" And so somebody commented on the podcast and said, "Oh, you're not wearing glasses. I've never seen you wear glasses." Like, well, that's old age.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's happened to me. That's where I was going with it. My ADD is so tough.
They say port and starboard.
That's right. I get some. Yeah, I can't remember the name of that company, but they always name different things. So it'll be Spanish, left or right, port, starboard. But it's funny because as boat people, port is only one side of the boat. It's not necessarily on the left side all the time. It can be on the right side.
It doesn't matter where you're looking at it.
Port's always on the same side.
Yeah.
It's just not left or right. It depends on if you're looking at the bow or stern, if you can use that.
Right.
But yeah, so boat terminology 101, right? So, yeah, nothing good comes easy, does it, though? I mean, nothing good comes easy. You guys have had to put a lot of hard work into your careers. What I'm hearing from this is patience has helped you. It's been a virtue. Patience has showing up every day, committed to doing a good job, having a good attitude. All those things seem to have really helped you. And then through your career, you've been able to go on to bigger and better things and opportunities and fishing vessels and a fleet commander.
Fleet commander. Well, what we're finding with what we're talking about, right, the way the new attitude is towards work, what I'm finding is, it's easier to separate yourself now and become this all-star, and you don't even have to do a lot. Like right now, I show up, I'm loyal, I am respectful, and I do a good job when I go to work. And I'm getting praised for it, and I'm like, guys, this is
supposed to be normal.
This is
it's
normal,
where when
right?
we grew up, that was normal.
That's normal.
Right.
But now you separate yourself, and at first I was angry at, right? And I'm so mad at how everybody works.
Feel like they have.
But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? It's allowed me to put myself in a position where I feel like I can almost go anywhere and do anything, and I don't even have to excel that much. I just have to be a little above normal, and that's crazy. That's sad, really.
It can be. In fact, when you do well, and I know you excel a lot more than just a little bit because you wouldn't be where you're at. So you're being awfully humble there. But I think you've nailed something there. But I also think if you have hustle in the game
100%.
right now, if you have hustle in the game,
100%,
you really can set yourself. I mean, I always felt that was I felt it was when I came up. If you had hustle, you could separate yourself, but I felt like the pack was tighter. I think what you're saying is if you hustle, you're almost sprinting out of the line, right? You're sprinting out of the gate. You can really separate yourself quicker as a young person today if you put in the hustle. That's really good.
And do it with a smile.
Really
just
good.
have a good attitude,
Oh.
Just have a good attitude, man.
Isn't it great? Just be nice to people. Like if people are just really nice, it works out really good, right?
It's not that hard, right?
It's not that hard.
Go to work,
it's not that
have
hard.
a good attitude, and be thankful that you have that job, right?
By the way, I have kids of these generations below us. I have kids. I'm still in on this generation. I think that they can be world changers. And I think there's world changers out there. So, but I think it takes people like us to reach down and mentor and to share some of these things that we have and we've learned along the way. Otherwise, they are going to be kind of rudderless.
100.
Rudderless.
Brilliant.
Wow. I'm giving myself one, baby.
Let's all write that down, shall we, class?
I'm giving myself
rudderless. Because how can you steer yourself through life without a rudder?
A boat? You like that boat one?
Yeah.
I've been saving that one. I
think you totally redeemed everything.
That's right.
Lumpia, everything has just been that one.
Well, hey, wait until you hear this one because now it's time for our Delve card, and this is where I like to say the juice is worth the squeeze.
Oh.
Juice, oh juice, where are you? We're waiting patiently for what you do. Google Guru, he'll make it right. In a flash, he'll solve the fight. Oh man, he's good at poker, that's right.
Yes.
He got second place last.
Second place.
Last night.
Why did you throw that in there?
Second place.
It cost another $100, but
Yeah, man,
Fake
juice.
Okay.
One of my best comments on any of our reels was I said, what's your biggest waste of money? And I think we had that song playing in the reel, and we were talking about waste of money. The guy commented and said, your biggest waste of money was that jingle. I thought it was so good. The jingle.
So what is this? What are we doing?
So I'm going to ask you a question. It says, what are you ridiculously bad at?
Oh, ridiculously bad at.
You know what I'm ridiculously bad at that I do all day, every day is sing.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty bad at that as well.
I'm really bad at singing.
That's debatable for me.
What?
No,
you think
no,
I'm a
you're
good
a
singer?
good singer?
I
You
think I'm okay.
I sing all day at work.
You
And
think you're okay as a singer?
I
Well,
mean,
let me put some
are we
music
all?
on.
He does
Just
have a
your
husky.
luck. Your wife told me you were a great singer, and I've got a song queued up right here. Just kidding. We don't have
Just
Just kidding.
Frank Sinatra.
if it's Taylor Swift, I don't know many lyrics.
We
I'm
want you
sorry.
to sing whatever song, A Love Story by Taylor Swift.
On its way.
So singing, you think you're ridiculously bad at
I
singing.
think I'm bad at it, and I do it quite often.
Yeah. I'm terrible at axe throwing. I am terrible at axe throwing.
Never tried it.
I haven't tried it either.
You ever been to these axe throwing places?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, where everybody get a axe and you have to stand this thing. I swear the axe is going to come back and hit me before it's over with. And my kids, my wife, my kids, I mean, they can do it behind their back. They can throw it over their head. They can just under their leg, whatever. It's like stick. Inevitably, the handle hits every, I just don't know. I don't have the action. Whatever that action is, I'm ridiculously bad at it.
Just keep score. You could do that.
Keep score. I should keep score.
Stan, what are you ridiculously bad at?
I'm trying to think. I probably use
some advice.
You're just good at everything. Stan's good at dancing. Oh, Stan's a great dancer. He can do the worm.
Belly dancer. I'm ridiculously bad at belly dancing.
Yeah, no, you would come off. I feel like you would come off to me as a ridiculously bad belly dancer.
Yeah, I don't do belly dancing.
Yeah, but I do think if you'll stay, maybe we'll post a picture of Stan's belly dancing to a reel or something. This podcast.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm doing it at poker next month.
I don't want to have anything to do with filming that.
Yeah. So, Juice, do you have anything you're ridiculously bad at?
I'm bad at golf, poker, bowling.
Everything you like to do.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not ridiculous.
No, not ridiculous. Golf, I retired at golf. Mid-90s is pretty bad for a golf average.
I think I was with him his last round, and he quit on hole 13. He's never been back.
By the way, I'm a ridiculously bad fisherman, too. My son's really good, but I'm terrible. I need somebody to do everything for me. And then, even then, I feel like I need them to tell me, okay, now pull, don't yank the stick or rod or whatever they call it. If you coached up right, I feel like I know you could. Yeah. I feel like if I just got coached up, that I could be a better fisherman. I mean, I take you to the next I go out all the time with my son, but I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And he catches fish, like I said, by his hand.
Yeah,
I mean, by his hand.
Yeah.
I have really bad handwriting.
By the way, these were the Delve cards. You can find them online. Delve cards, DELVE, Delve cards, ready to take the plunge is what they say. But again, this is like a major tip, parents. If you're listening right there and you've got teenagers in the house and they're always like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, everything's fine," whatever. Break out these Delve cards. We use them ourselves at dinners. In fact, we haven't in a minute because they've been up here in the studio, but I need to take them back down because they're really great conversation starters when you're have a card and you ask a question, something like that, and go on. But, guys, I really appreciate y'all being here today. This has been a lot of fun. We're going to do it again. We need to do one and get T-Mac was talking to a Chef Tyler, man. He was talking about doing a cook and catch sort of thing. We take out maybe even just the inshore. And we just go out and hit some trout or something.
Actually,
cook and cook or something like that might be fun.
Late April, early May, we could
that's what I'm saying.
We catch some trout.
We go out here and we set it up and do a little pod, just sitting around letting Tyler make us some cook us something. I mean, whatever he cooks, I'm in. I'm in when Chef Tyler cooks.
Everything is good.
He is creative. Yep. So we'll get some more guys on here, but it's always, one thing I didn't tell you, the audience, and I want to tell you this, these are part of the A team of the poker group, and man, I love talking to them. I love hanging out with them. It's crazy when you get invited to a poker table and you become kind of friends with people as tight as we are, but we have some great guys. I've said it once, I say it again. I think our poker room is probably the toughest poker room this side of the Mississippi. So it is a tough poker room. If you can play there, I feel like you can play anywhere. And so, but even better, I think we're going to have great guys to sit around.
Yeah, that's
with.
the main.
We really do.
That's why I come.
So
I'm for the company.
But it's so much fun hanging out with you guys, and so we're going to definitely have to do it again. But now this is the section of the show that I like to call "Listen Up, Kids." So again, listen up, kids. Tie in. I'm going to tie everything in. Listen up, kids. It's been said that patience is a virtue. Scripture even has a verse from David himself, King David, thousands of years ago. He said, "Those that wait will renew their strength." Don't be afraid of the pause, the break, or even the forced pause. There are lessons to be learned and opportunities that come from focus, commitment, time, and waiting. Keep refining your skills and look for the best opportunity you can to leverage those skills. It comes with waiting. Thanks for listening. I really love your comments. I love how you share what's going on in your life when you're commenting below on our videos. But what I'd love to hear is I'd love to hear your best fishing story. Or don't. I mean, what the hell do I know?
You've been listening to What the Hell Do I Know with JB. JB has worn quite a few hats. CEO, venture investor, accidental pastor of a downtown Atlanta church, board member, passive investor, and occasional public speaker. JB's passion with his show is sharing the good, the bad, and the downright absurd. Life's a mixture, right? JB has picked up some real gems along this journey. Lessons from the business world, the chaos of parenting, and the surprises of accidental leadership. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find Jason on Instagram at _Jason_Becker. Y'all be cool, and we'll see you next time.